Logging in Mixer the robot. TechnoPod Studios is online. Configuring satellite connection. Broadcast link is established. Initializing ET and typewriter. Serving burritos. The TechnoPod show begins in 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to the official second episode of the TechnoPod show, the awe-inspiring Intergalactic Adventures of E.T. and Typewriter. I'm E.T.
I am Typewriter. You almost forgot the R inspiring there.
I know. I mean, our title's confusing me. It's only the second episode. You got to cut me some slack.
You'll get it by like 25, 40, 80.
I sure hope so. Otherwise, I'll just give up.
I don't blame you. So a lot of stuff to talk about today. Thought that last time we were going to be able to kind of condense everything, but there was just no way, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, the whole, I guess, origin story of how I got launched into a life in outer space, not quite as condensed as I had thought. I mean, once you get into the story, there's just so much.
Word.
I mean, it's all... it's all important, though.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's the details that make it up. So what else is going on with you? I mean, we had kind of a weird weekend, I think. I mean, I did, and I know that you didn't have a very successful one, I'd say. Do you remember, you had the concert that you had to play, right? But then something happened? Yeah,
that's right. I was all scheduled to go back to one of my favorite places to play, Kavalar, the crab planet.
Oh, good place.
Yeah, I mean the crabs love me. I mean they literally love me.
In love with you.
Yeah, I mean I have to have guards and all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, and if there's one planet that it loves to party, it's definitely Kavalar. I mean, we've been all over the place, but Jesus, that place really enjoys partying. I mean, they do it literally 24/7.
Yeah, it's right in the middle of the Crab Nebula, and after I played my first show there, they just went nuts. I mean, when you see a human-sized crab spinning glow sticks in their claws, you know that it's a real party.
Yeah, I mean, because it's very hard for them to do anything, but if they're spinning glow sticks with sunglasses on inside, that something's going right. Obviously.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was headed there, and then I got a call. I don't know if you remember the painter bots that we hired to paint the outside of the ship.
So that's what happened. Yeah, I mean, I remember they were horrible is what happened.
Yeah, we had two of them. I think there was one that was painting it gray and one of them painting it yellow, both of which not colors that I selected. I mean, I spent hours at the Space Lows, and I was going through all those cardboard tabs of all the different colors that you can paint an exterior of a space station. And I had picked a bright blue, which of course my favorite color.
Naturally.
I don't know where they got gray and yellow, but they were painting for 3 weeks now, I think. I fired them Friday, and they had just painted 8 coats of paint over top of each other, gray and yellow stripes. It's not the best.
So have you figured it out? Like what we're gonna do? I actually kind of like the yellow though. It doesn't look
like
that
the
bad.
yellow? I don't know. I wasn't a fan of the yellow. Definitely not the gray. But I picked out this blue. I hired a new painter bot. He's out there right now. We should be able to see him. Actually, let's go look out the window and see what's going on. I know we're doing a podcast, but I'm curious now. Yeah. Let's see what is that? Gold?
That is gold and yellow.
Where
do you get these guys from, by the way?
I don't know. I'm wondering if there's something wrong with like my translator, like colors in my translation software. I don't know. I mean, they're robots though, so it should be their translation software. They're not aliens, or I don't know.
Or dogs.
But, yeah. I don't know though. The gold looks pretty good though.
I think it's pretty baller. I mean, I already like the yellow, but this is like yellow to the next level.
Yeah, I mean, all right. We're just going to let him go because otherwise we are never going to get painted. We're just going to have a giant golden dwarf planet-sized space station. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, I'm into it. So why don't we do this? Because I know that the listeners are probably dying to hear your story. Why don't we take a quick break, let everybody get acclimated, let them get their popcorn, their soda, their beer, their whatever they like to do.
I recommend nachos.
Nachos they pair great with this show and with a bottle
Test
of Merlot.
audiences, yeah. I mean,
test audience is approved. 100%.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're going to be right back, and E.T. is going to continue the origin story of how the fuck this all started.
Okay, we're back. I guess last episode we cut off with killer robot busting through the side of my house and chasing after Spark.
That seems to be. I mean, as I remember it, the robot was about to just crush Spark's neck in between his robotic hands.
But what you don't remember is that Spark had jumped onto the gear table, hit one of my CDJs, and started playing one of my techno tracks.
Cloudless.
Yeah, exactly. And the robot kind of froze in place, and he had his claw like right around Spark's neck. Spark just, I don't know, shaking, terrified, and the robot like froze, and his eyes started blinking different colors. Like they were like this terrifying blood red color.
Mm-hmm.
And they started kind of blinking, changing colors. There was all these like clicking, whirling sounds. I thought I smelled something burning. Not sure. And then the eyes kind of stopped changing colors, and they kind of settled on this yellow color. much more peaceful, and the robot started dancing to the music.
I don't know if people were expecting that. I sure as
hope
hell
not.
wasn't. I mean, I've heard it before 1,000 times, but that first time, I figured yellow meant, I don't know, a urine cannon was in the making. But no, just starts dancing.
You assume that. I don't know if that's the first place everyone else goes
I'm not
to.
trying to put thoughts in anybody's head or saying that they expected it.
So I'm kind of still curled up behind my futon, terrified, but I'm not sure what's going on, and I'm kind of peeking out, and here's this robot dancing. Spark has jumped off the table as well and started dancing along with this robot that, 2 minutes ago was trying to kill him. I applaud his gusto, his
courage, really.
fearlessness.
Yeah.
Also, he knows how to
guy.
party now. And I'm just kind of like, well, the track's starting to get to the end, and if I don't keep the music going, I don't know what this robot is going to do. So I kind of come out from behind the futon where I was hiding, and I slip in another CD and, fade it over and kind of start DJing for this killer robot. And I don't know, we partied for about 3 hours, I think. I was starting to get, not really tired, but I was just like, all right, this robot is gonna... I can't play music forever. I mean, maybe I could. It actually doesn't sound too bad.
I mean, isn't that kind of what you want to do?
Yeah, I mean, I want to play music forever with intermittent breaks to,
3 to 4 minutes a
bathroom.
day. Yeah.
Yeah, stuff like that. So I'm kind of like, all right, I want to know what's going on here. So I'm going to end this track, see what's going on. And the track kind of comes to the end, and the robot stops and kind of looks at all the gear on the table, and his hands just start spinning and creating this like vacuum that starts sucking all of the gear off of the table and like inside of his arms. And I'm just horrified. All this like equipment is flying across the room into this robot, and like it's pulling like the plugs out of the outlets. I grab a hold of one of the cords, and it's like dragging me across the room, and I'm just like screaming no, and I don't know what's going on. I finally just let go. All of my gear just disappears inside of this robot's arm, and there's these crunching sounds, whirling, and then there's just like a ding, and then the robot turns to me, and it's just like, well, we had Mixer last episode doing the robot voices, so let's just have him continue. I mean, for those that haven't listened to the first episode, go back. But Mixer's our robot producer. He's kind of managing the boards and the recording over there, but he can voice in and handle any robot voices we need for the story.
Yeah.
So the robot crunches up all my gear. There's a ding, and he turns to me and says,
Hello, friend.
and I'm just like, normally robot terrified, but I'm just happy that the robot is not going to kill me. I should have acknowledged that he was my friend, but I'm just like, what did you do with my gear? And he's kind of looks at me, and there's this understanding look on his face, and his hands just transform, and there's one of the CDJs, And he's like,
Technological integration complete. Now we can take your music wherever we go.
and I'm just like, oh, holy crap, what do you mean wherever we go? And he looks at me and he's like,
I am MX Robo Hunter Unit number 31415926553.
and I'm like, holy crap, does everything from outer space have a name that is just incredibly confusing and so long?
That's a prerequisite.
It seems that way. And I was just like, okay, well, you've sucked up all my DJ gear and your MX unit number, I couldn't even remember. But how about I just call you Mixer? I feel like we should have had a sound effect there. Like, dun, dun, dun. Or like some gasping. The whole crowd. I hope that happened. Right, so now I'm friends with a bounty hunting robot and an alien prince. It's been an unusual day, to say the least. But I guess to fill in the backstory, we kind of sat down. I kind of cleared everything up. So basically, RoboCorp, where Mixer's from, where he was born, is a agency that creates these bounty hunting robots, and then you can pay them the highest bidder, and they send them out to collect bounties, gather up people, kill whoever you want, I guess. It seems weird, but it's a pretty good business model, I guess.
It's a bit morose.
Yeah, a lot of things in space are that way, but here, Spark, Runt, nobody in his family really liked him. They sent him to Earth to fail this mission, and then they sent this bounty hunting robot in after him to gather him up, and I guess the plan was to take him back to their mothership where he could be held accountable for his failures. But now I've messed up their plot, and we're kind of talking this out, and we realize that one of these bounty hunting robots is not a good thing to cross or circuit bend, as it were. So we're kind of like, what's gonna happen next if this robot can't get Spark? Who's gonna come in next? And Spark kind of fills me in that we should probably get out of there, because they're gonna send one of his brothers, and probably not one of the lower end ones like Spark himself, but probably one of the world destroying brothers of the Varaxian Empire. And I'm just kind of like, holy crap, we got to get out of here. And I kind of look out the robot-shaped hole in the side of my wall, and I realized that whenever Mixer landed in my yard, he decided that the softest spot would be the hood of my car.
It's a very supple hood. Well, it was.
I guess so. If you're flying in from light years away and
if you're made
Earth.
of metals.
Right, you just power drop onto the hood of a car and, crash it into the ground. So I'm looking at the back end of my car just sticking up out of the ground. And I'm just like, no, Spark's ship is wrecked. My car is wrecked. How are we going to get out of here? I'm like ready to just start running. And it was a pretty nice car. I was pretty heartbroken about that. And, Mixer kind of caught on to what was going on. And he's just like,
I believe I can fix this.
and he kind of walks over the car, one hand, picks it up out of the ground, walks over to Spark's crashed spaceship, other hand picks it up out of the ground, sets them both down, and just starts to work. He's, air wrenching parts off. He's sawing on things. I'm not even sure how it's all working at the time. Within about 15 minutes, we just saw him suck all of my DJ gear into himself. So he just starts working on these two machines, and pretty soon we've got a fixed car with pieces of the spaceship, and I'd have to say it looked pretty awesome.
Well, it's better than a car.
Yeah, it was like a spaceship car.
With a ricer spoiler on the back.
Yeah, we had the spoiler. We also had, it was lowered. It had, like, spaceship wings. It had, custom paint.
It's the only spaceship I've ever seen be slammed in my life.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I don't know how to describe it to podcast listeners. So, I don't know. Just imagine the most bitchin' spaceship you can think of.
This is the 80s.
That's right.
That spaceship is bitchin'.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, wow, this is pretty awesome. And I'm kind of walking over, I'm checking everything out. I'm like, oh, yeah, we could definitely make a getaway in this thing. I'm looking inside. It's got, sound systems all fixed. There's like all the spaceship controls are on the dash. It's got like this awesome, weird looking steering wheel, spaceship seats instead of, my old worn out ones I had in my car. And I kind of look in the back seat, and there's this huge, like, dark gunmetal, like, shaped object, and I'm not quite sure what it is. And I'm like, what is that? And I kind of realized that it's just a massive gun.
So somehow, I want to explain this to the audience because it's a little strange. Somehow, Mixer took a wrecked ship and a wrecked car, combined them to make a better ship, and there was a giant gun in it.
In the back seat. I guess the gun, to clarify, not part of the car.
Right.
I think it was something Mixer had brought along with him, and, he stocked it there in the back of the car, I guess. Not part of the car, but it's an awesome gun, and I guess we find out later it's called Zap Cannon, one of the most powerful guns in the universe.
Yeah.
That's not spoilers, is it?
No, and it is the most powerful gun. It's one of them, at least, in the universe. I wish we could, explain to viewers what it looks like, but... Okay. Take this giant tubular weapon, looks like a cannon, with a telescopic structure, put some Tesla coil ass looking things on the front, mean as hell, claws extending out of the barrel, and you kind of get close to how horrifying it looks when you first see it.
Yeah, that sums it up pretty good. There's a lot of imagery in this podcast. It's hard to describe. But
I'm trying to paint a picture.
yeah, if we had someone to draw it.
Oh, here, let me put that on the list. Yeah, we gotta
add that to
if we have the money for it.
While we're adding to the list, I'm getting pretty thirsty, and man, we should sure use somebody to bring us drinks during the show.
Ooh,
is there a job for that? Is there somebody we could get?
like a drink bringer is kind of like an intern. I mean, that's all they really do, right? So we could put like an intern. Okay.
Yeah, let's put that on the
Internship.
list. That's something we need to look into.
I'm making it clever. Internship. You get it?
Oh, I do like a half decent pun.
A half decent one. Anything over that and it's just overkill. But okay, so artist for the podcast, intern for the ship. All right. I don't know what this is. We keep fucking talking about business. Okay, story. What's happening now that you have seen this giant gun?
Well, I don't have much time to check things out. And because almost immediately the sky darkens, we hear this horrible rumbling sound. Dust starts getting thrown up all over the place. Excess pieces of the ship are kind of flying around. And we look up, and there's this huge, probably the size of a bus, probably that long, but blood red, and it's like a fighter ship. It's long, pointy. I'm not the best at describing spaceships.
Long and pointy does it justice.
Yeah, I mean, it's got like all kinds of guns and stuff kind of set up on the outside. There's like this horrible graphic of like a skull being crushed by a hand.
It's like a torpedo with wings and some miniguns attached.
Yeah. And Spark kind of looks up and he's just like, holy shit, we need to get out of here quick. That's my brother, the Grave. He's like, I thought they'd send someone. I did not think they'd send the second most powerful, other than the king of the Varaxians himself. This is the most powerful world destroyer in the known universe, hovering above our heads. And all right, I know I just said I need a drink. We got to take a break. I got to get myself
I'll be honest with
a
you.
zap energy, and then we'll continue.
Okay, we'll be right back, guys. Hey guys, this is Typewriter. Hope you're enjoying the show so far. I just want to tell you guys a little bit about TechnoBeat.info. This is a music blog run by none other than the Lord of Awesomeness, E.T. On it, he talks about the newest techno beats from labels like Soma, Perk, Plexus, all these awesome labels that we will soon be playing on the show for you guys. If you want to, go check it out at technobeat.info. That's TechnoBeat.info for all the techno news and opinion eds you'll ever need. Later.
The TechnoPod show is also brought to you by Zombie Jerky. I used to be hungry before I started stowing away pack upon pack of zombie jerky on my shelves. Are you tired of regular beef? Are you looking for something with a little zing? Zombie jerky is the only bagged, cured meat product you will ever need. Made from the flesh of recently defeated zombie overlords, zombie jerky is a refreshing and chewy treat that you can take anywhere you go. Zombie jerky. Snap into some rotten flesh.
And we are back. Oh my god. It's so good to have liquids, but every time that I think about an intern, I just think how much easier it would be to get them.
I wouldn't have to walk over to the fridge
I hate that 4-foot walk.
and get a drink. And I mean, the Zap Energy cans are like they're like a liter, so you got to carry that over to the cupboard, get a cup or a spiral straw or something to drink it. It's just too much work.
It's way too much. So I'm going to put intern at the top of the list instead, see if we can get that first.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Bump that up.
All right. Sorry. Okay. So big ship, not good. Go on.
Yeah, I mean, Spark kind of looks up and he just kind of filled us in real quick. I mean, this is the ship of his most powerful brother. I mean, first in line for the throne, other than the actual king of the Varaxians himself showing up. This is cream of the crop, world-destroying alien.
Cream of the crop, horrible news.
Yeah, he's known only as the Grave. And he's, the most powerful brother that Spark has. And he drops down out of his ship. And the dust kind of clears. And we can just see him standing there before us. And I guess to fill you in, most of the Varaxians are like 10 feet tall. Spark, I think we covered this last episode, but he's a runt. And we're just like, I was surprised to find this out. And I mean, we're staring at the Grave. He's about 10 feet tall. He's bulked out, like ripped in muscles. His whole body is just covered in like these leather straps. And
he has a bandolier on, from what I remember you telling me. Bullets across his chest.
And, I mean, his hands are just like these claws, terrifying. And his face is like just this, his mouth stretches clear across his face. And just rows and rows of shark teeth. And he kind of grins at us. And he looks directly at Spark. And this voice that sounds like, I don't know, a hell demon just growls at Spark, and it's just like, brother, I've come to take you home. And it's just like, scares the hell out of us. I've all but crapped my pants at this point. Luckily, I'd gone that morning.
If not,
the
story would have turned out very differently.
Yeah, I mean... Oh, Bolslaw.
No, sorry, Bolslaw, not right now.
Sorry, we mentioned crapping our pants. Bolslaw showed up to help clean that up. I mean, he's our Roomba, takes care of that kind of thing. I'm sorry, Bolslaw. Not right now.
Sorry.
I feel bad for him. We got his hopes up.
Yeah.
It's one job, keeping the studio clean. And
we
such
take
a worker.
The glory away from him.
Trooper, that one. But anyways, I'm scared as hell. I don't know what's going to happen. Mixer steps up in between the Grave and Spark and I. And I take this opportunity to hide inside the car. Not just hide. I dive into the driver's seat. I'm like, let's get the hell out of here. Spark dives into the passenger seat. He's like, I'm right there with you. And we're just trying to figure out how to drive this thing. I'm trying to find like a key, a big red button to start it. I'm not familiar with any of these dials or anything that's on the dash now. It's all in some sort of alien language I don't understand. And I'm just like, Spark, do you know how to drive this thing? And he's like telling me, he's like, sure I do. It tells me that driving class, one of the classes that he didn't fail. And at this point, I'm like, what? Didn't fail? Like, what did you get in driving? And he informs me that he got a D-. And I'm suddenly not impressed. And I don't have any idea how to get out. I kind of look in the back seat and I realize there's this huge gun. I think, well, maybe I could pick that up and shoot this guy. I don't know. And I can't even lift the gun. So Spark and I are just bumbling around in the car trying to do something, but accomplishing nothing. And we kind of look out the window, and here, meanwhile, Mixer is squaring off against this killer alien. And I didn't know it at the time, but Mixer, jiu-jitsu master.
Yep. Jiu-jitsu, kendo, Hokkaido. I think that's actually a city in Japan or something, but he's a master at that. I mean, he's good at a lot of stuff. It's Aikido. That's what he's good at. Bunch of crazy shit. I still don't know everything about him. I feel like I just met him the other day.
Yeah, it's pretty nuts. And the Grave comes in at Mixer with just this massive fist. And I mean, Mixer's like 7 feet tall, but the Grave is like over 10. But Mixer's kind of skinny. You know, he's kind of lanky. Even, you know, he looks, first glance, not that powerful. You think like this alien's just gonna crush him. And Mixer just fluidly sidesteps, grabs this alien by the arm, flips him over onto his back, and slams him into the ground. And jumps up, slams his foot onto his head, dives into the back seat of the car. And I'm just like, holy crap, that was amazing. And Mixer's just kind of like,
we need to get moving.
And he clicks his hands into these sockets that are in the back seat of the car, and the engine roars to life, and we do a burnout, and we're off down the road. And I don't know, Spark is kind of looking back out the window. We kind of, in the mirrors, we can see the Grave get up, and he's just furious, and he just one bound jumps up back into his ship and starts falling down after us. And we're terrified. I mean, Spark fills us in that his ship is loaded with homing missiles. We need to get out of there before he gets in range of us. And we're just blasting down the road. And I look at the speedometer. It's still the original speedometer in my car, and we're doing like 90 miles an hour down this country road, and we're heading out towards, you know, main road, and I know we're heading kind of towards the highway, and this ship is just tailing us. It's about, I don't know, football field behind us, and we're just ripping like along the woods, and we make it up to the highway, and we get on, and we're kind of, we think we've lost the ship for a second, and then we realize that he's kind of cut us off. Next thing we know, I mean, alien shit, like spaceships move like crazy fast, and we're blasting down the highway, and here this ship comes up in front of us and launches off these 2 missiles. And Mixer, pro driver, I'm just hanging on for dear life. We whip around this turn, and we're going the other direction through traffic, head on. We're weaving around, and I'm just no idea what's going on. Mixer apparently puts the car into some sort of autopilot, opens the moonroof, climbs out on top, and takes his giant gun with him. He is now standing on the roof of the car. We're doing like 110 down the highway the wrong way, and there's 2 homing missiles coming straight at us. Mixer takes his gun. I thought he was gonna like shoot the missiles. Instead, he takes it like a baseball bat, knocks one of the missiles into the other one, sends it spiraling back towards the Grave ship. There's just a huge explosion. I can't even see what's going on because there's just smoke and dust and fire, and I'm just like, holy crap. Mixer drops back into the car, and he's like, we gotta get... Well, why don't you tell us what you said?
We need to get off this planet.
I'm like, holy crap, what do you mean off this planet? We're in a car, and the moonroof closes, the trunk opens, this giant jet engine comes up out of our trunk, 2 wings sprout on the side of the car, and I hear like 2 clicks, and then just this huge jet engine sound, and the nose of the car picks up, and we're just blasting out into the sky. And I'm, like I said before, I feel like I need to crap myself at this point. I have no idea what's going on. I'm like, what? I don't want to go into outer space. This is insane. And we just rocket up through. Next thing I know, we're like out in the middle of nowhere, going God knows how fast, and the Grave ship still kind of tailing us. I thought for sure we'd lose them as fast as we rocketed out of the atmosphere. But next kind of thing that happened, it feels like we're not moving at all once you get up into outer space. I mean, when you're on the ground, there's trees and stuff whizzing past you. You kind of can tell you're going fast. But when you're in outer space, it's all kind of just standing still. And I just see like the Grave ship kind of getting nearer and nearer to us. And the next thing I know, there's kind of these smaller ships. They look like the Grave ships, but there's like 5 or 6 of them just buzzing around us. And Spark tells me that they're called hunter drones, and that the Grave is just toying with us now. He knows he's got a faster ship, and he's set off these hunter drones. It's just going to rip our smaller ship to shreds. And I'm like, not sure what's going on. One of them comes in and slices the side of the car, and Mixer says,
"Activating nanobot repair system."
And the side of the car just starts forming in and fixing itself. Then Mixer puts his claw around my throat, and it didn't really hurt. I feel like it should have. But this tiny drill comes out and drills into my throat. And found out later he kind of injected me with a piece of alien technology that almost all species have now in space, and it's kind of a universal translator. I could suddenly kind of tell what the things on the dashboard said. I could kind of understand Spark better now. I guess before his translator was talking to me, but now we could communicate even better. And also kind of lets you breathe in space, and I don't know, the nanobots in that translator kind of keep you from collapsing whenever a robot opens the moonroof and climbs out in dead space.
It's a good thing, I think.
Yeah, I mean...
But here's another thing, I think. We are running out of time, so we need to take a break, and then we need to come back and let these people, hear what we have to say about where to find us, where to find more stuff about the show, and then we gotta head out of here.
All right, guys, we're back, and I think Typewriter's going to fill you in on maybe a preferable way to listen to the show.
You think right. Listen, guys, you have two choices for how to listen to this show from now on. You could check out SoundCloud. On SoundCloud, if you search up the TechnoPod show or Intergalactic Adventures or Typewriter and ET, you'll eventually find the show. On SoundCloud, you could stream in your browser or download a file directly to your computer to listen to later. Now, if you don't like SoundCloud and you don't like going through browsers and you'd rather have the show delivered directly to your door, like it's some kind of SPS service, all you got to do is go on iTunes, hit the subscribe button, and you'll be automatically filled in every week when we release a new episode. And don't forget on iTunes to give us a 5-star review, please, with some kind words so that we could get higher and higher on the list of good podcasts so people don't have to listen to garbage anymore. And if you like the music in the show, I have awesome news. The music is all made by resident co-host and master of techno, E.T. His album is out right now. It's called Zap Cannon, of course, based on the gun we talked about today. And you could find it on his website, which is officialelectrictype.com. Download it. Enjoy it. It is absolutely incredible. E.T.?
That's right, guys. I'd be grateful if you check that out. I think you'll enjoy it. But if you don't, maybe, or you do like this show and you want to talk to us, there's lots of ways that you can get in contact with us. First of which is all those social media sites. I think we're on all of them, like Facebook. We're on Twitter, @ElectricType and @Typewriter. I think we have a Tumblr or something. All of that. You can also go old school and send us an email, thetechnopod@gmail.com. We like things like questions, comments. Let us know how you're enjoying the show so far. Maybe speculation on what you think will happen next. That stuff would be pretty cool to read. And while you're thinking about emailing us, you can also find all that information, links to all the things that we've mentioned on our official site, thetechnopod.com. While you're there, there's a donation button. You know, it costs a lot of money to host things, keep a space station running, recording equipment, food for Spark, all that stuff. So you can donate money in increments of $1,000 or any amount you want, really.
A penny if you'd like. Any little bit helps, really.
Yeah, so we'd appreciate that. If you got any enjoyment out of the show, you could check that all out. And I don't know, thetechnopod.com. All your TechnoPod needs in one place.
How about that? Well, guys, it's been a great time. I'm sure you agree with me and us. But we got to go for now. Until next time, this has been the TechnoPod Show, the awe-inspiring intergalactic adventures of E.T. and Typewriter. We will catch you next time.
Bye.
Adieu.
Ending show recording, configuring music.
Electric type.
That's a Pokemon.
I'm guessing so. Definitely not fire type, grass type.
No, it's an electric type.
Definitely not fire type, grass type.
No, it's an electric type.
Electric type. Definitely not fire type, grass type.
No, it's an electric type.
I'm guessing so. It's an electric type. Yeah.
Thank you for listening. This has been a broadcast of the TechnoPod Studios.
We're just gonna
I
have
agree.
a giant golden dwarf planet-sized space station. I'm cool with that.
Do not forget to visit thetechnopod.com. Ending transmission.